them are interesting, and I understand that people see videos and think of me. My mom's done it before too. Um, like see pottery videos and are like, "Oh, that's cool." And you do pottery, so that's an interest that you have. But it does get a little bit like, cool. Like, because a lot of the stuff either I already know or I've already seen or it's not really the process that I use or and so it gets a little just like, thanks. Thanks for thinking of me. Yeah, it can kind of be that way, you know. And I understand that like people see it and think of me and that's nice. A little, I guess, that kind of like, well, look at this. It's I found this rock and thought of you. Like, well, I appreciate that. That was very nice. Great, great work. We got a thin spot there. We got a little bit of a twist. I think my hands were moving a little fast there. They have to know. So, the key to even walls and even pulls is hand speed to wheel speed. Like, it's all about the ratio of how fast this is moving and how fast your hands are moving, right? And so I've got a little bit of a twist right here, and it's likely because we're thinner here and have a lot of clay here. So there's more drag that I'm trying to pull up here, and because we're a little bit thin, it's twisting it down there. We're gonna go ahead and thin this out a little bit up top to try and help us later. The other key for this enclosed form is I don't want this to be any wider than it currently is because I'm going to bring it together at the end, which is the hardest part. Um, and coming in is much, much more difficult than going out. So keeping it keeping it tight um, will help me bring it in later. Pumpkin time, man. That's what she said. Sure did. Yeah. I figured I would get started early, so I have plenty of time to make plenty of pumpkins. Because I know there are a lot of people that want them. Here's our twist. The other thing we have to be mindful of is when we bring the clay in at the top, it's going to thicken the walls. That's kind of how it happens, right? You stretch the walls out, the clay has to stretch in order to accommodate that, so it will thin the walls. You bring the walls in, the clay doesn't have anywhere to go, so it thickens up. So keeping the top thin is fine. Which kinds I'm doing this year? Not really. I'll probably do a couple of similar ones to last year because there were quite a few that people liked. And then we'll riff on some other ones. But I'll probably include more turquoise ones because a lot of people were really into the turquoise. A couple more spookier ones rather than cute ones because that was a favorite. But also a couple more cute ones. Like I would like to do another Frankenstein one. Since that one didn't go off quite as well as I wanted. Like it was nice, but there were cracks and it didn't fire as nicely as I wanted. So I'll probably do that one again. And probably do a couple other cute little monstery ones. I don't know who yet. A ghosty one, you know. Kind of hit all the bases. My plan is, so last year I made 9. This year I'm shooting for maybe 20. I would like to double it because I had a lot of interest, and I can have more variety, and I'm starting sooner. So now we can start shaping things. I might collar in the neck a little bit, just so we're not going anywhere. I actually bought myself a throwing stick just to help with pumpkin making this year. I didn't have one before. And so I figured I should get one anyway, but okay. Don't knock that. You know what? Get rid of some of this extra clay. But yeah, I'll probably only do, I don't know, 2 or 3 just whole pumpkins and make the rest jack-o'-lanterns, because the jack-o'-lanterns are what people seem interested in. They're fun. I'm going to keep this kind of as straight as we can right now, because as soon as it's got a divot down in it, it's going to want to fold on that. When we bring it together, there will be a shoulder that kind of forms here. Probably should have stretched a little bit beforehand, not gonna lie. Oh, the other thing I want before I get too far here. Sponge on a stick. Yeah, calisthenics, yeah. My hand, my wrist that does that there, forms that little bump out. Hey, Shar, how are you? Amber! Hello, lovely. Tired. With chill pups today. Oh, good. I'm gonna see how far I can get with just collaring this. Son of Pat! Ooh, thank you for the Prime sub. I had to pick one other artistic medium to work with. What would it be? Ooh. I mean, I occasionally do some work, like 2D work, but do you mean 3D? Thank you. Do you mean 2D or 3D, son of Pat? Big question. Okay. I don't know. Like I enjoy some 2D art on the rare occasion. I dip my toes in there. But I will say I do like 3D art. It scratches an itch in my brain. I would probably say like multimedia 2D art, but having never tried things like glasswork, which I've always wanted to try, um, I think I could really enjoy that. Occasional woodworking. Yeah, the only woodworking experience I had was very briefly in college. I was in a sculpture class, and one of the things that we worked on was wooden sculpture. So my knowledge of any amount of woodworking is very, very little, but stained glass. Stained glass doesn't like I appreciate it, but it doesn't interest me enough like as much as glass blowing or even pipe work, you know? Hey, Voxy. Like a working pipe on like lamp work. Technically, yes, Voxy, to a degree. However, there is some question as to like how safe it is tactily. Personally, I wouldn't put it on a functional piece because it cracks on the piece, which you're kind of opening yourself up to potentially having shards that would fall off. If it was a sculptural piece, sure. Lots of people put, you know, those glass stones that people like use in fake flower arranging or even real flower arranging, those kinds of things. People add stuff to that, but make stained glass lampshades, that would be beautiful. Yeah, the little bloops and mancala, exactly. Those little glass stones. I've seen people add those to make kind of a water effect on the bottoms of things, and it's pretty, don't get me wrong. I just personally wouldn't be super game on putting it on something that somebody is touching a lot. Blown glass elements for pottery. There's this person that I've followed. She does lamp work, or like, I guess it's called lamp work, but where you have the torch, right? And you're working in front of you rather than like on a punty, right? And she makes these beautiful, like, they're usually shibari women, so they're like ornaments, and so there are these women, naked women, right, that she makes out of glass and then strings together as an ornament, and they're gorgeous. At the bottom of your bowl, next firing and see what happens. I've seen people use marbles occasionally, but $9.99. That sounds right. Yeah. She's also made like, if you're into smoking, which I'm not, but she's made like a bong that was like a naked lady as well. Like, I would be into doing something like that, some smaller pieces. I don't, oh, or glass blowing, certainly, though the amount of space-time investment that you need in order to do that is a lot higher. So I don't know how feasible it would be, but I would love to one day. I find something really satisfying about that, like, thank you, Amber, that, like, all of the mediums that scratch my brain a little bit have this plastic state. Um, and it probably is something to do with, I don't know, like wanting to play with lava as a child or something. But fire a bug mud? Char, help me out. What did you spell wrong? Oh, a firebug. Yes. Yes, I am. I am the one that when we go camping uh, has a fire poking stick and you know, won't stop playing with the fire. That's me. Oh shit. It makes a lot of sense, all told. We just got a little sticky up there. Yeah, but I don't know. I think glass would be really cool. Something I've always wanted to try, certainly. We have a little twist there, but that's okay because we're bringing this together. As long as we don't rip it off. I don't like whatever this song is particularly, but we're dealing with it. We're almost off the screen, huh? Not paying attention to my posture at all. So we've closed it up now. Now we've got trapped air in here, which is good. We can play around with that a little bit. You do have to be a little on the gentle side because just like an air bubble does in the walls of the clay, if you're pushing on it on one side because it's rotating, the air is going to move back and forth in there. So if you push too hard, it will push the other way and you start ending up with like a weird kind of wobble in it. There was a little bit of one down here. True. The beautiful thing about pumpkins is they can be a little funky. So I'm going to leave, so this will be the stem, which I will curl around, but I want to leave it kind of where it is for a little bit to dry up, because what I did last year to get some texture onto them is I let them firm up a little bit, and then cut them with a wiggle wire and then formed them so that they had texture. Like a pumpkin stem would. There is a line right there that I would like to go away, but where's this? And this gives us our form, right? And we will mess with it in a bit. Just make sure we don't have any water sitting on it anywhere. And then let it sit for a bit. Because when it sits, it won't be so tacky. So I can touch it without leaving lots of marks on it. B, I can press this down a little bit so it'll flatten out the top and be a little less conical. And then this won't be as sticky. I can cut in the texture and then give us a stem. All of them will have to be trimmed in some way, but not too much. I forget if I added the lines at the same time. I think I may have. Because if I wait too long, I won't be able to push into it quite as much. We'll think about that. But this one is done for right now. For the time being. That was a lot of clay, though. It feels heavy. It was enough clay, I think, though. Hot. I think I am actually going to run to the restroom really quickly before we start another one. So we'll do a 5-minute break, which is probably better for me anyway. Stretch while I'm at it. And maybe this go round I'll make a couple of different sizes as well. My poop cry? Yeah. We are going to do a 5-minute break. Everybody get up, stretch, get a sip of water, snack if you need it. We'll be right back.